The Giannis situation has generated a lot of buzz ahead of the NBA season, and now the Golden State Warriors are listed as a team that are now watching the Greek Freak's every move pretty closely. What's going on, Golden State fans? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Allie Barefoot, and we're going to be breaking down what the possibility of Giannis coming to the Warriors would actually look like. But before that, we want to make sure you're up to date about what's actually going on with Giannis. So basically, he's eligible to sign an extension starting this Friday through October 23rd. Now, if he doesn't sign by that deadline, he'll have to wait until the next offseason to be able to sign that extension, which he's already mentioned he kind of wants to do, just in case the Bucks don't show out this year. He's reiterated he'll stay in Milwaukee as long as Milwaukee is actually producing like a championship-level team. But the Giannis rumors have been circulating all summer, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to end anytime soon. But I do think the Warriors could actually be a true destination for Giannis, because by the time Giannis would possibly be a free agent, the Warriors are getting rid of some key players on their roster due to free agency that would definitely fill up some cap space. It would move some spaces around so that Giannis could actually be wearing the blue and gold for an NBA season. But they're not the only team that wants him. I'm not surprised by this at all. The other teams that are watching Giannis are the New Orleans Pelicans, Toronto Raptors, Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks, and your Golden State Warriors. I know the Knicks have also been somewhat contenders in this race just because they also have the similar situation with the Warriors, depending on who will be available by 2025. But once again, we think the Golden State Warriors could be a viable option. We'll break down why in just a few seconds, but we want to hear from you guys. Do you think Giannis is actually going to stay with the Bucks the entire career? Because if he is, then this whole thing is a wash. So if you think he's going to stay, type S for stay in the comments or type L for leave. I think he leaves. I think he's got some more to do in his career, and I think he can do it in a bigger market like Golden State. But if the Warriors do trade for Giannis, we're going to keep you covered. We're going to have all of the coverage on this trade. It's going to be monumental. So hit that subscribe button just so you don't miss out on all of our news and rumors coverage. Now, Giannis's contract right now, he's got about $45 million for this year. Then he's got $48 million and $51 million. That is that player option that I truly doubt he's going to end up taking. Like I said, I do think the Bucks can still be a championship contending team. They've got people like Jrue Holiday and Khris Middleton, but they also have to be playing just as well as they were 2 years ago, three years ago now when they won. Jeez, time is flying by. But Khris Middleton understands this is a business. And that's what he said to ESPN's Tim Bontemps. We always want him back for sure. Let's be for sure and let everyone know that. We want this guy to come back because he's one of the best players in the world. He's also one of the best players in the franchise history. So when he says things like that, I think he just wants to challenge the team, the organization, to keep putting us in that position to win championships. He's not just pointing a finger at everybody else saying, you guys have to do this for me. I think he's putting that pressure on himself to be better, to come in, to be great every year. So there's no pressure added when he says that he wants us as a team, or me as a person, that I have to be better. Giannis doesn't seem like the kind of player that's going to ask you to do something he's not going to do himself. He's already made it clear that if you guys are winning, and if you're putting in the sweat that I am, the blood that I am, then I'm staying in Milwaukee. Why wouldn't you? If you've got a team that's going to compete up to your level, which, like Khris Middleton just said, he's one of the best players in the world, I don't think it's asking a lot to have your other team pick up the slack, if there is any, to compete at the level that he is. Michael Jordan had to do it with the Bulls, so Giannis is doing it now with the Bucks. If the Bucks are winning, Giannis could definitely be staying for a few more years. But the Warriors will still have some contract going on in the 2025-26 season. Steph Curry will be paid about $59 million that year. This will actually be the last year on his contract. Draymond Green, about $25 million. He just signed that extension this past offseason. And Andrew Wiggins, about $28 million. So they've got about 3 players in there that are pretty hefty loads when it comes to the salary. Those are some fat paychecks that I would give anything to see. But there are also some other contracts that are ending in the year 2025. These players will now be free agents. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Kevin Looney, Gary Payton III, also Chris Paul, which will free up $30 million because I doubt they're going to re-sign him just because of age and other things. But that's going to free up a lot of money. So, with this being the same year that Giannis could possibly become a free agent, the roster is going to be pretty clear to add somebody of Giannis's capability and actually just immediately make an impact because as you can see, these numbers are insane. His field goal percentage is absolutely right there, an average throughout the season, averaging 30, 29, 28, 29. These are absolutely MVP numbers, which is why he's won the award multiple times in his career. In the last 4 postseasons, he's done the exact same thing. 23 points in the postseason, 31, 30, 26. We've seen him win a championship before, just like the Warriors have done so. So you know he can contend, and he can be the number 1 in the championship team, which I know the Warriors have kind of relied on Steph Curry to be that guy. So if you were to add somebody like Giannis, to have that duo will truly go down in franchise history as one of the best. It goes up there with Kobe and Shaq, those type of players that you will talk for generations if he were to join the Warriors in the postseason. And the Warriors do have a lot of draft picks they'd be willing to give away to obtain the best player in the world. There is a top 4 protected pick next year in the first round by Boston. But in the next 4 years, they own their picks. So they've got plenty of stock to give away. We even went down back to 2029. They still have their own first pick right there. So they would definitely give up any of these picks to be able to obtain one of the best players in the world. I would give up so much money to have Giannis be in a Warriors jersey. So my producer, Coop, here and I, we actually put together a trade idea that we think could possibly work to get Giannis in the blue and gold. So the Warriors would receive Giannis and Andre Jackson Jr., and the Bucks would receive Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and 3 first-round picks. I know what you're saying. When you see that Bucks square right there, that's a lot of big names the Warriors would be giving up. But once again, this is for one of the best players in the world. Andre Jackson Jr. would truly probably do nothing for the Warriors if he did end up there. But Draymond Green would be pushing about 35 years old by that time. We've already kind of seen him decline just a little bit in his speed and ability, which is not saying much. He's still a fantastic player. Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga are on the younger side, but I think the Bucks would actually be open to this trade just for what they're going to get, but it's still giving up Giannis if he doesn't want to come back. So I want to hear from you guys. Is this enough to land Giannis in the Bay? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I definitely think it's yes. I mean, I know once again you're giving up somebody like Giannis, but to add somebody like Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins, I know they got Brook Lopez right now, but depending on what he'll be in the next 2 years, not sure where he'll stand with his injuries and with his size and his age. So I think that adding those 2 players would definitely help the Bucks continue to be contenders. I'm not saying they're going to have to rebuild if you get rid of Giannis. You're obviously going to have to make a lot of structuring choices, but I think the Bucks would make this trade for sure. You'd be getting some franchise players that have a ring in their closet, so I say, why not do it? But why don't you go ahead and subscribe, because if that Giannis trade does happen, then we want to be able to keep you as up to date as we possibly can, putting out news and rumors weekly, so go on ahead and hit that subscribe button for me.